All right, welcome. It is August 13th. This is planning board on the WIC. Um, Go ahead. Minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to view the minutes? Any questions, changes? Of the minutes? Daniel second, favor? Great. We had one work session this week, which was mountaintop soils. Anything on for next session? Nothing at this time. Great. All right, so let's jump right in. First up, we have Amazon entrance modification. Online.
Yes, this is Dornbaum with Kimley Horn.
Okay. If you could just give us a quick synopsis, so that we can get there and then take a look at it.
Yeah, so just a quick overview again. We're proposing a new egress point at the existing Amazon. The egress point is going to be at the employee parking lot at the northwest corner of the site. And this proposed change will allow vehicles to access Kirkville Road via a signalized intersection at the west portion of the site. We're also proposing a curbed island and a right turn only sign and striping at the existing northeast exit onto Kirkville Road. Again, this is to allow people to make the right onto Kirkville from the non-signalized intersection, which would improve safety exiting the site. Following the previous meeting, we got a comment that all curb needs to be granite, so we went ahead and updated that on our plans. And we also shifted the pedestrian path at the proposed egress point plan south and made the bottom portion of that island fully flush. This would allow pedestrians to cross behind any vehicle that's stopped at the stop bar there, and also is a less awkward path. Previously, pedestrians would have exited kind of at the middle of the stall there. So those are the two changes.
Okay. Eric, any other?
You reached out to County DOT yet about the modifications to the driveway on Kirkville?
So we are preparing a submission for a right-of-way work permit. We haven't made that submission yet, but we will be submitting for that permit shortly.
Is there a reason to believe they would just accept it as presented? What if they have?
I mean, they have to coordinate with OCDOT and they're gonna permit it. That was a condition of the county anymore as well.
I guess maybe what I'm saying is if they have other revisions, though, does it need to come back?
No. If an other revision to the
Okay. All right, well, with that, I think we've looked at this one a number of times. I'm gonna put forth a motion to approve the plan last dated July 28th, 2026. And containing drawings C-0.0, 0.0, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Only as to the modification of the prior approval and existing site plan, which modifies an egress point to the existing employee parking lot at the northwest corner with the following findings and conditions. This board has reviewed the Onondaga County Planning Board referral dated August 5th, 2026, which stated as a modification, the Onondaga County Department of Transportation requires that the applicant submit plans and coordinate Kirkville Road access with the department. This board accepts this modification as a condition of this approval. This board has reviewed the SEIF of the applicant dated May 19th, 2026 and grants a negative secret declaration for this unlisted action. Except as specifically modified herein, the original site plan dated July 7th, 2020 and approved 7/9/2020 and as modified by the approvals relating to the EV charger installations approved June 8th, 2023 and the AVI accessory structure approved June 12th, 2025 are in full force and effect and unmodified, including all findings and conditions therein. This approval is made with the further condition that this approval is for plans and other submitted documents, site plan documents that have been signed by the planning board chairperson. And the applicant requires that all of the work shown be completed by the applicant in order for a certificate of occupancy or compliance to be issued. Any proposed changes, additions, or deletions to the scope of work or materials from the site plan documents are not approved and are subject to further site plan review pursuant to the Town of Norwood Code section 192-122. Applicant remains responsible for obtaining any building permits or other permits from the town or regulatory agencies as may be required for the improvements and or site plan work approved in this site plan approval. So I put the motion forward. Is there a second? Bill, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the amended Taco Bell monument. Welcome.
How we doing? Matt Naparella Consulting, representing Hospitality Restaurant Group. With me today is Matt Purdy as well. He's taking the place of Mike McCracken, who you've all met and has talked about, but Matt is actually on the ownership group side for HRG. So when we were last here, we talked about the request to modify the location of the approved monument sign. And the request is to put that at the northwest corner of the subject site in a location that the ownership group and the development group feel gives a better visual impact of the monument sign itself. The board at that time said, what about keeping it on the south location and pushing it forward? And kind of said, can we get a visual of that? So shortly thereafter, we had the contractor place the actual size, which is about a 4x8 sheet of plywood, at the appropriate height at both locations, both the north location that is a desired location by the ownership group and the south location that was discussed with the planning board. I think pictorially, we then went out and submitted digital photos of both locations and submitted that to the board itself. The first picture, as Eric gets this up, literally, I did these so I can explain exactly where I was. I did have my high vis and my hard hat on, and I went to the island at the signalized intersection. I did not stand in the lane and took a picture of that north location. So this is the north location. I think at the point of the planning board, some of the members were saying that that north location is very busy and would be obstructed view. You got to be careful about that location. From this visual impact, you can see that it's pretty wide open. I mean, certainly we have the telephone pole, we have the signal pole, but where the location of that sign is, it's a pretty wide open view, especially since it's a monument sign, relatively low impact itself. Then, Eric, if you can flip to the next picture. Then when I got to the south location, I went to the intersection just to the south of the Duntire location. I did not get in the middle of the road because the light was, no matter what, there was a lot of traffic and movement, but I stood literally on the shoulder of the road itself and took that picture. You can see the obstruction with regards to the overhanging trees, and if you pushed and went further to the south, the Duntire obstructs that view as well. So you're not getting a clear view of that 4x8 monument sign, again, mounted at the appropriate height. So, and I know because we reviewed the package here that Eric put together that there is a photo that shows once you're in the lane, you might have a better angle. Our point is, with that plywood being placed there for both locations over the past 3 weeks, it reinforced the ownership group and the development team that the north location gives us both the visual impact that we're looking for, but as well becomes a safety factor. And I think as Mr. McCracken talked about and Matt can support, typically for these uses, the monument sign stands like mid-span of the building. But with regards to keeping the building to the frontage, there's no opportunity for that sign at mid-span. So it's either gonna be north or south. And with regards to the southbound traffic, we want to get them to make that turn into Marginal Way. That's important for, you know, getting that traffic off of on Marginal Way. If they don't see that this is the location,
Signage on that monument?
what's that?
Is there directional
No,
signage on that?
just as a, and again, that's on our original submittal. It
Right.
just is the classic Taco Bell signage, but there's no arrow, there's no nothing, but it's just a monument sign, so. I can show you what that was, but that has not changed from our original approved monument sign. There's,
Yeah, no, I was just curious if
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
would read that as I need to make a left-hand turn.
there you go. Eric's better than I am.
Eric,
Thank
is elevations on the same submittal,
Not on this one, but we could pull them up.
just because I wondered where they were putting the sign on that north face of the Taco Bell, the building sign.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's.
Because it's like
a good
there,
question. It's
there,
You
and-
have on the north elevation, you guys, the Taco Bell up there.
We have it up on the tower,
And then you're asking to put another big 6 foot by 8 foot
monument sign.
monument sign
And-
out right
and-
there, and then you have a bell on the Bridge Street side that's right there that you can see, so you're gonna have 3 bells right on the corner right there, all telling
Well-
people what the building is.
Well, again, we have those signage by right now. We have, so it isn't a question of whether or not we can have the signage.
Right, the building
It's a
signage,
place.
we're not questioning, I mean, the building
I just wanted
signage is clear to
Look like-
identify the building.
Because that sign that you just showed with the plywood also like blocks a window to me, like, you know, it makes the elevation look a little messy because it's blocking a window and it's up in the window frame from street level, so I just wondered what the elevation looked like on the smaller elevation than this one. Yeah, so I think it kind of takes away from the look of that elevation and how nice the elevation looks. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to see. Thank you.
So again, we're here to further, I think with regards to where the construction stands with regards to the building, everyone can see that the team is working steadfastly out there and progressing pretty nicely, getting this program underway. One thing that we have done is placed dead conduit both ways so we can keep advancing the curbing and other things. But the ownership group, and Matt, feel free to interject, really feels that that north location is the best desired location for the business and for attracting the customers to this location. As we all know, there's been some failed restaurants at this corner. They want to do the best they can to be a longstanding member of the community.
And having the monument sign there, you think it's gonna help identify the building better?
Yes, sir.
I do, one of the things I will say, Matt Proudy, is this building is gonna be beautiful, it's brick, you guys had asked for brick. It doesn't have a lot of the Taco Bell iconic purple that typically is a visual draw, it identifies that. And again, I think it's gonna be a beautiful building, but for us, signage is extremely important. So I do think that's gonna help, the success of our business over the next 25 to 45 years. The other thing I'll say from a safety standpoint, if you were to drive up, and obviously you guys know the city or the town much better than me. Most monument signs are placed at the entrance of typical businesses driving up and down Route 5. My concern with it on the south location is also from a safety standpoint, if you're coming south and you see that sign. And again, there's a right out and a right in there. My concern from a safety standpoint is that we're gonna have people that are typically used to seeing that monument sign at the entrance, drive up there and then try to cut across into a right in or a right out. That does pose a safety concern, and it's closer to the right, so, to the left.
You do have signage there that says do not enter, right? Or no left-hand turn.
I think we do, but
So you're signing it, you're telling people not to make that turn.
we are, but if you're further back and you see that, 4x8 monument sign,
Can
I
you
just think
point
it
me
will attract.
where you
people to
think
do
they
that.
would turn it? Can you point that out? I just,
So what we're talking about here is southbound traffic as you're approaching the new signalized light for, I guess we call it the Chick-fil-A location, right? Is this movement, and again, we've got the geometry per DOT.
That Chick-fil-A is way further down.
Yeah, it's way
Yeah.
further down, but you still have these dedicated left turn arrows that are painted on Bridge Street right there.
Right.
So what we don't wanna happen is, because if the monument sign is located in this location. And somebody, doesn't understand how Marginal Way gives them that left access to the restaurant. That they try to make the attempt of a illegal movement. And
I guess I'm trying to understand how.
They
having
missed the
monument
whole
sign, yeah.
building.
well,
Or not even missing the building, but how having the sign on the corner alleviates that.
because now right at the signalized intersection, if they're waiting, they say, oh, Taco Bell, I can come in.
They would have already had to have been in the left turn lane, correct?
They'd have to be in that.
So they wouldn't know where they were making that
Well,
turn anyway,
and-
right?
and even-
I'm trying to understand it because I do believe, and I'll leave the rest of it coming up to the board, that corner still gets very, very busy with having 3 signs on your building, or 2 signs on the building, plus the monument sign right there on the corner, plus all the other stuff going on there. I think having it back in that green space pulled out to the street
And I,
allows that same identification of the building. That,
and I think
Or
that
if-
somebody at that intersection would see the giant high Taco Bell sign before they saw the monument sign. Because they're driving. I mean, you're saying the driving people you're concerned about, and if they're coming at the building, they're gonna see the building signs more than a monument sign, because they're not gonna be able to see like that low to the ground if there's traffic anyways, it's gonna be blocked by other traffic. So I agree with Nate, like I don't see how the corner is helpful more than the other one. Yeah.
Oh. I look at it every day because I ride my bike down Bridge Street on the south side of the sidewalk, I guess. And for me, it looked like it was behind the post, but based on your picture and you're in the left-hand turn lane, which clearly I'm not on my bike, it looks fine to me on the north side. So. And I do believe the monument sign issue about people turning in a monument sign issue, I think it's a valid concern. People will turn to the left hand, into the right of the lanes. People do it at Wegmans, I've seen it. So anything you can do to minimize that, to me, makes sense. And from this view, right, to me, I don't see the big overhead traffic light post, which I see when I was riding my bike down there. I don't see it, I see the sign. I see the building.
I mean, at this point, you're already in the middle of the intersection.
Oh, but I'm coming down. My point is when you're driving down the middle of the road, the sign is not hidden by the posts. For me, what it was when I was riding down the sidewalk, literally 20 feet to the left, right? 25 feet. From this picture, then it's fine, I think.
Well, it's the lane on the side. I drive both ways almost every day. And even before you put the plywood up, I was trying to visualize, what you had there. And then once you got the plywood up, if you go towards Dunn Tire, that's the only thing there. I could see it better than the one on the corner with other things there that maybe are not exactly next to it, but distracted me. So I think you're better off on the Dunn Road side. The Dunn Tire side.
I would actually be more persuaded about moving it if it was closer down Marginal Way to the other entrance, so that folks knew that that was the entrance. And if you were gonna move it, that's where I would put it.
Yeah.
Further to the left, down Marginal Way.
Because then it's like the Taco Bell and people make the turn and they see the next sign and they follow it to the drive. Yeah,
Yes.
if you're worried about people
The
turning.
problem with that is we don't own that property. You can see the right of way here.
Yeah.
The right of way is a pretty wide right of way from
Right up on
Marginal.
that little triangle of green space right there,
Yeah,
right by the entrance.
He's saying
aiming,
instead of
aiming at the
here.
intersection.
I mean, that would identify the entry
Even
to the
for-
property.
Yeah, yeah, where the mouse is. Yeah, where the arrow is.
Visibility coming south. So the only people you would get is individuals that have already made that turn on Marginal Way.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm.
But they're seeing the building signs, like that's what those are for, like, and they're up high.
Well, it's the same thing around Carrier Circle. You
Yeah.
come around there and see your building. You see the sign on the building before you ever see the monument
Mhm.
sign. Cause you're at the building at that point.
Understood, and if
It'll be
People
the
don't have a
same
problem
thing
finding
here.
Chick-fil-A.
Hmm?
So people don't
And
have a
it's
problem
low.
finding Chick-fil-A and there's no signage on the corner there. They gotta go,
And they're
up.
in a hole.
There.
Right. But I mean, they gotta make that left-hand turn, they gotta go up the road, they don't have any problem finding.
Yeah.
Finding their way there. Well, I mean. Is this a make or break for you at this point?
I feel it is a substantial win for us to have it on the north side, just, and again, you spoke of Thompson Road, we do okay there, but when we first opened, that was one of our lowest volume opens, and I do think a lot of that has to do with brand identity. I think over the years, people know it's there, we built that reputation and we do well there now. But if I was to show you the numbers from when we first opened, back then, our typical opens were 30,000 a week. We did 14,000 a week for like the first 6-8 months. And again, over time, I think it's built via reputation, but visibility is huge. And you're talking about coming off of 690. There will be a lot of traffic off of 690 that maybe isn't local traffic. And I think the better our visibility, the better it is for us to have a success. And again, more success is more tax revenue, more employees. And for us, it's a huge win.
So we want you to have
Yeah.
success for sure.
And visibility, I think maybe some of the points tonight is that the monument sign and visibility are not necessarily competing against the building signs. Like really, that's what you're seeing is the building, right? First, before you see the sign. So that part's achieved the best you can.
So does it come down to a safety issue? I mean, I promise you, people will, no matter what signs we put up, people will take that left in on the right end. Or the right in or the right out. I've seen it all. I'm sure you guys have too. I've seen it all.
Well, I mean,
think that's gonna happen.
It's also
Yeah,
kind of
gonna
hard
happen.
to
I mean, they
do.
do it as, like it was mentioned, people do it at Wegmans, there's signs and stuff there.
You got 4 lanes.
Supposed to, but
It's
But if there's less signage, it's there, in my opinion, just my opinion, there's less of a likelihood that people are gonna gravitate towards that and say, hey, here's the Taco Bell sign.
yeah,
That must be where the entrance is. But, and again, just my opinion.
so. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is the make or break on this one, if you don't get the sign on the corner.
Well, we're already, we're close to the finish of the project. I mean, we're 4 weeks out. I mean, it is really the ask.
Right.
I've been doing this for 30 years with Taco Bell. To me, it is the best location for us to have. And again, I can't quantify how much additional dollars in sales that's gonna give us per year, but I do think it does give us a substantial impact.
I mean, there's probably like, I appreciate all of that, but like our purview is the development of town, look at the town, and I think by putting it, again, I'm speaking on my personal, let them kind of do their thing. Having it on the corner is not an add to the visual of the project, it is a detraction. You have a beautiful building, you've got the signage up on top, you've got the signage up Bridge Street. You're prominent right on the corner, I mean, the building is right there. People are aware what the building is as you're pulling up, I mean, that corner coming up Bridge, you're seeing the building right in front of you with the big bell on the side of it. People understand what's right there.
Agreed.
So-
And what I would say, I know the project's there and I've been driving by and, getting off 690. And I understand the bell's not on it yet, but
You know where it's gonna be.
I do, but the
Yeah.
gray tones are not the iconic purple. And I think the more we can do to get people to understand that Taco Bell is there. I understand the bell's not up yet, but again, just 30 years of experience with the brand, the more visual noise we can create. And again, I would go back to the safety issue. I do think when we could pull people in off of the light onto a slower road, there's less of a chance of people making that left-hand illegal turn. So.
Well. Yeah, let's take a straw vote here and see further requests. Those in favor,
Oh, in favor of
Which
what?
way?
in favor of the location as proposed
On the
on
corner.
the corner.
North side.
One against? Okay. So I think at this point, your option, based on the feedback that I'm seeing right now, is we can either look at, you can slide it up as we kind of suggested on that south side, you can leave it where it was originally proposed on the south side. You know, but I don't think it would pass here, so, you know, we can look at approving one of those locations, we can deny it. Or you can withdraw. So,
Would you be interested in exploring having it further down Marginal Road near the driveway?
Well, for me, and again, visibility is key, so I think that would take away from visibility for us, so if the option is good.
You might change that.
So the angle
Yeah.
in such a way that.
Yeah, like the driveway
Bridge
is on
Street
Street
in your
View.
face. Coming down.
It would
Bridge
be
Street.
kind of where that yellow sign is.
Right about there.
all right,
So, okay, this is existing, sorry, you messed with me.
October.
It's actually, you know, further, even further down, about where that last turn arrow is. To the,
You know, I think that
East
let
side of the
people
telephone.
know that they could turn at that light to get into the Taco Bell instead of going all the way to the next light to come back to the Taco Bell.
Can you bring the plan back up to see, because you guys are implying it's going on the first triangle, implying it's on the second.
Yeah, I think it should go to the second. to the
You're
right
saying down here.
there. Yeah, and I think you.
no one on Bridge Street will see it there.
I should have got fine then. It's fine.
We would already have captured those vehicles.
Yeah.
so,
So so let me,
Driver, even monuments.
Alana corresponded with us yesterday with regards to,
Cause you're way back
we
and
provide
not down.
the south option. I didn't submit it to Eric and Alana yesterday, but if that's the only, where we sit 4 or 5 weeks from opening, we need to have a decision. So if the board is saying absolutely not on the north location, I do have a plan that shows it per the plywood location at the south location. If the board will give us that, we need to get going. And, you know, with Matt's here, and, you know, he's making that decision. He said, if you guys can give us that approval with that location, I got it on a plan right now.
where it was originally approved, just sliding to the street.
Sliding it
Right.
up, per code like this one.
Yep.
With that, offset off of the property line.
And you look, there is like utility, is there utility or something along?
Was a gas line.
So you'll be out of the way of that.
Yeah.
You said you already ran the line, you already ran the conduit.
There's a piece of conduit already there. You got conduit, just a small, 1 inch.
That something people are comfortable with? Where that other
Definitely.
plywood is? Yep.
But you know, Bridge Street, I lived here all my life. Somebody goes by something the first time that they want to be there, they'll know what it is the next time. It's nothing like
Yeah.
that. Yes, but of course. Your point too, of people coming in, oh, 690, they might not be familiar. But if they come this way more than once, or they'll just turn around, you know, because your building is beautiful.
Yeah, no,
And
it's gonna be a
close to
beautiful
the
building.
road,
Yep.
you can't miss it. And maybe you like that color scheme, maybe you like that color scheme.
Yeah.
No, when we do the brick, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Did I give you a date? We'll date it.
A little bit less iconic, but it-
yeah, that's okay. I think you're gonna have enough signage on the building, yeah.
Yes, and I
signage.
feel like now your logo is more like the white and purple bell, like not
Yes.
so much purple building anymore. And I think people are starting to recognize icons more than signs. So I really think that the bezel on the building is what people are gonna be like drawn towards. It really isn't,
It is 30.
it isn't the words Taco
It was
Bell,
25
you
here.
know, like,
It's 25 feet back.
So we
were outside of the landscape.
I think it's like
Yeah.
the kids Eric
Yep.
and young.
You'll take that 813.
813.
You'll bring copies for her and I'll get it designed.
You guys are coming together.
So. That actually, yes, sure.
Did you say?
I'm gonna read this one. And you're able to finalize that, okay, so. Based on our conversation here, based on your kind of direction that you'll move the sign south, and I'll bring the updated drawings. I'll put a motion to approve the slight relocation of the monument sign from its current position as shown on the sign plan dated 8/13/2026, which you will bring tomorrow. This motion is made with the following findings and conditions. This board has reviewed the SEAF that will be dated 6/24/2026 and grants a negative secret declaration. This unlisted action. This action is exempt from Onondaga County Planning Board review. The applicant has requested relocation of the monument sign from the location shown on the site plan. Approval of this board dated July 10, 2025, and subsequent monument sign approval on 7/24/2025. The applicant has cited the desire for greater sign visibility. The applicant appeared before this board on July 9, 2026, with its request that the sign be located at a new location at the approximate corner of Enterprise Parkway and Bridge Street. At the meeting, it was suggested the applicant put signs, put sample signs at the proposed location as well after planning board discussions, the approved location, but closer to the road, which is what you're showing on the drawings now. This was done and the board has observed the same, so you chose boards. This board has considered this request in light of the construction that is now underway, such that the site can be better observed in actual conditions and in light of the variances granted for setback and additional signage by the zoning board of appeals. The proposed location at the corner requested for the signage at a busy traffic corner is somewhat cluttered by utility and other obstructions. This board deems the location of additional freestanding signage at the corner location architecturally incompatible with the area. Further, it is now apparent that the building facade signage is very visible from all directions of travel, having been the beneficiary of a variance that located the building close to the well-traveled road. This project is also the beneficiary of variances that permitted additional signage so that each of the three outward-facing sides of the building have signage. This board has observed, finds that the location of the monument sign is approved. July 10, 2025, with slight relocation as set forth in the revised plan as approved herein. Bring tomorrow provides very reasonable visibility from all areas of the traveling public. Is architecturally compatible with building and corridor and is reasonable and sufficient light the prominence of the building and all other signage on site. This approval is a minor amendment to the sign package approval of this board dated April 23rd, 2026. The original site plan approval dated July 10th, 2025. And except as specifically modified herein, said approvals are in full force and effect and unmodified, including all findings and conditions. Applicant remains responsible for obtaining any building permits or other permits for the town or regulatory agencies as may be required for the improvements and or site plan work in the site plan. I made the motion. Is there a second? Kathy, second. All in favor? Great. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I just have a quick question. Why isn't the right in going north, not rounded more?
All I can say is that was vetted 15 times in New York State DOT. So the geometry was very specific and very detailed and met the DOT permit.
Almost looks like it's a left in.
I don't argue, we had different certain radiuses and you know, again, we went back and forth through the process with the state.
All right, next up we have Mountain
Thank
Top
you guys
Soil.
every time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Mountain Top Soils, welcome. So we went through this at our work session on Tuesday.
Yes.
We've been to run through this one. Was there any other outstanding issue? Okay. Everyone's familiar with this one. Any questions? Okay. Unless you have any objection, I'm gonna put a motion to approve. Okay. Sorry, so motion to approve the subdivision plan by Cottrell Land Surveyors PC entitled Mountain Top Soil Subdivision, parts of lot 94 and 95 and last dated 7/22/2026 with a revision showing lot 2 drive with the following findings and conditions. A public hearing notice was duly published, distributed in accordance with the subdivision regulations of the town of DeWitt, and a public hearing was held at the planning board meeting on July 23rd, 2026. There were no public comments received. In the course of the subdivision, this board is not commenting on the manner in which the balance of lot two is currently apparently being used as shown on the overhead view of new lot two. However, the applicant is advised that further modification of this lot is not approved and may potentially not be approved as a legal use of the lot, including if there is a future subdivision lot two. We talked about that, if you agree to that. Absolutely. Okay. Field driveway off 173 and located on lot two has been noted by the New York State DOT to be acceptable only as a field driveway and no other commercial or residential use. This matter is exempt from the Onondaga County Planning Board review. This board has also reviewed the EAF submitted by the applicant dated 6/4/2026 and issues a negative secret declaration. That's what that's 6/24. Of 6/24/2026 and issues a negative secret declaration for this unlisted action, finding no significant adverse environmental impacts. This approval is made with the following conditions. Any modifications to the apparent current use of lot two is not permitted to be modified or expanded. The field driveway shown on lot two may only be utilized as a field driveway. Any improvements to lot two will require site plan approval, including any changes to the field road. Further, any changes from the use of the field road will not be required or will require New York State DOT approval. The applicant must file the subdivision map with the Onondaga County Clerk's Office in accordance with the rules of Onondaga County to provide a copy of the stamped filed map with the Town of DeWitt Department of Planning and Zoning. Good. Good. All right, put the motion forward. Randy second. All in favor? Great. Fill your stuff in, make sure you get it back to us. You gotta file with the county and then bring it back to us.
Do I get some of the stuff you have to give to the county?
Yeah, we will sign them.
You have.
I have
them
and then-
about,
We'll call you.
Pop in next.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right. Since you are vice chair, you're taking over. Randy and I need.
For Miller Auto.
Miller Auto.
Hey. I can.
Surprise.
Oh, I need that.
It's the recommendation.
Okay, who's the applicant tonight for Miller Auto?
My name is Brody Smith. I'm an attorney at Bonchenick and King.
Okay,
Okay. So Miller Auto Leasing seeks a special use permit for a commercial garage and a referral to the ZBA for its parcel at 6730 Pickard Drive and 119 Pickard Drive East. The property was previously used as a bus depot, and the building was used as for maintenance for those buses. It's zoned industrial. The proposed project includes minor interior and exterior renovations so that the site can be used for this for the leasing operations. Specifically, we've presented before, Miller's business is the leasing of box trucks and larger trucks to businesses for generally a year or more. And the building that they used, businesses that lease those buses can bring them in to be for routine maintenance. The application package includes the special use permit application, a current survey, architectural drawings, an intended use description, names and addresses of neighboring owners, a short EAF, the fee schedule, and the hearing guide. The planning board, when we appeared previously, stated that a special use permit would be required before moving forward with the site plan and the subdivision applications that are already in. You also requested a detailed floor plan. The calculations so that to aid in the calculation for parking spaces. The gross floor area of the entire building is approximately 8,000 square feet. That's a 16 parking space requirement under the industrial equation in 192-103D, but then also there would be an additional 3 parking places that would be added to that 16 number because some of the gross floor area would be used for office space. So it's 150 square feet. You need a parking spot for every 150 square feet for office space. So that would change the parking count to 19 spaces. We do have 19 spaces for vehicles in the current plan. So in sum, we're looking for a referral to the zoning board to pursue the special use permit.
And it's just a special use permit. There is no variance request for the parking or area variance, right? Okay.
No, our intention is to comply.
Specific use permit is for a commercial.
Just for the, all right, got it. Okay. I just want to make sure it's on the record that Nathan and Randy stepped off the board for this. So, there is a recommendation, that I can read for the vote on to refer to the ZBA. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's a positive recommendation. This is a positive recommendation on the specific use permit as the use is generally compatible with the area and is similar to the prior use of the lot, provided that any conditions of the site plan approval are complied with. The site use permit should contain the conditions that 1, the subdivision application now pending must be finalized with the planning board, and 2, subject to site plan approval from the planning board, including that any conditions of the site plan approval are a condition of the specific use permit. That's the recommendation referral to ZBA. All those in favor of this positive recommendation? I'm sorry. I'll make the motion. Second, Jenny seconds, all in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, very good. I think that's all the business. So you're good for tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Nate.
I'm gone forever.
Welcome back, Randy.
I doubt that. All right, we have next up the amendment for the Michael Roberts Associates.
This is Brody Smith from Bonchenick and King. I also represent Michael Roberts Associates.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right, so this is a concept. My understanding is after our last approval, the time lapsed before a building permit was pulled. So you're just seeking reapproval of that previous approval.
That's correct. I can give a brief synopsis of the project if you'd like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we need a synopsis. If nothing's changed, has anything
Nothing's changed? No.
Right, so at that point, it's simple reapproval of this one.
Correct. Yeah.
If there are no questions or objections, then I'm gonna put a motion forward to approve this. Okay, so motion to approve the plan dated 7/21 and labeled final submission with the following findings and conditions. The applicant has resubmitted his plan that was previously approved because the time frame in which the full building permit has passed. There have been no changes to this plan since the October 9th, 2025 approval, and nothing that warrants changes to the plan accordingly. Site plan as set forth above is approved as a reapproval with all of the findings and conditions as set forth in the planning board approval dated October 9th, 2025. And with the further condition that the applicant remains responsible for obtaining any building permits or other permits from the town or regulatory agencies as may be required for the improvement and or site plan work approved in this site plan. Made the motion. Is there a second? Bill, all in favor? Great. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yep. All right, next up we have ONX1 phase 2.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jim Ballantyne, Naparala Consulting. Joined by Ben Naparala as well. I believe we have online the owner Robert Trafford. And as well, joined by Mark Pearson with Shepherd. So it's been some time since we were last before the board regarding this project. The last time we were here was on 12/5/2024. So considerable time's gone by since then. At this meeting, it was, I believe, our second review of the project, and we received some preliminary board comments, as well as afterwards, we received engineer review comments. As part of this submittal, we did respond to those planning board comments, and we're still working through evaluating and accounting for the engineering comments. That's a quick update on the project. So this proposes 2 new buildings for the 6,600 New Venture Gear Drive facility. The first is a single-story, 5,300 square foot facility.
What's the best one?
Oh, that would probably be like C3. Just the one right before this. Sorry.
That'd be good.
Thank you very much. So as I was saying, we have a single story, 53,000 square foot building proposed, and as well a 2-story. The total square footage is 610,000, but it'll be around a 304,000 footprint. As well, we've got plus or minus 24 loading docks, 16 of which located here on the west side of the 2-story footprint. And as well, we'll have another set of loading docks here on the west side of the single-story building. Total parking provides 184 spaces here. There is going to be a new curb cut proposed off Fly Road, which we'll be coordinating with Onondaga County Department of Transportation. As well, because of the grade change, we are proposing a retaining wall here down southern edge of the property. As well, we have proposed stormwater management on the far west side, which will be keeping the site in compliance with the master SWIP and remaining stormwater management areas that exist on the site up here to the northwest. So understanding considerable times passed since we were last year. We're hoping to receive additional comments tonight.
Talking about the fence off the flower.
So there's an existing chain link fence. I believe at the last meeting it was raised that should be replaced. Right now we're showing a tree line. I believe the line work actually is left off showing a new fence. So,
What kind of fence?
I believe it's going to be
This is an architectural wrought iron type.
Similar to kind of.
Similar to what's up by the FedEx.
Yeah, okay.
Right after the FedEx, so.
Okay. Is there a security gate or something on the entry drive?
off Fly Road.
On Fly?
I believe it'll just be an open cut.
Exit only.
There's no gate on it, there's nothing, it's just an open section of the fence.
Yeah, I believe it'll just.
It's the exit only.
What's the grade change?
The grade change is, there's considerable grade change there. That's gonna be a part of our review with Onondaga County DOT.
Like approximately what?
I think
15 feet.
between 5 and 10%, I think.
Yeah, it is. As we push to the south, we're a lot better off as you, from that location, as you go up Fly Road, it is quite steep.
Right.
But at that location, we're in pretty good shape, so it's gonna be a decent ramp. About 6% grade, I think, coming down in, so nothing obtrusive at all.
Yeah, we're coming down from 441 down to 431. You're gonna, the next one.
Good job. Zooming out
And that tax.
on this one. What consideration or? Yeah, I guess there's maybe the master plan that's there and how the new development impacts the overall master plan for this site. I mean, right now, there's a lot of businesses, a lot of parking, a lot of truck movement through here, like, how does all of that happen? How does it?
So I don't know, Robert, did you hear it? Can you answer some of that, Robert?
Sure. Yeah, well, we've redirected all of our truck traffic out through Chrysler to the west. And the private vehicles, personal vehicles are coming in from the north. Empire Telecom has exited Suite 110 up in the northwest corner. Burnderry has expanded into that space, which is going to cut perhaps 100 to 150 vehicles a day out of the traffic pattern because of that replacement of that tenant. Empire lost their cell tower contract with AT&T and moved out of the market and exited the lease, and Burned Area needed to expand. So we've got a very positive traffic impact change there that cuts out a lot of vehicles. Similarly, in the back, Custom Assembly will be exiting this fall. Their lease is up in October, and we're not renewing it, leaving the space for expansion of existing tenants. So we're going to be reducing traffic as well as adding traffic with the new occupancy for this new building.
With all of the
I envision the vehicular traffic that Fly Road cut would be an exit only lane, not an inflow lane. That would allow cars to get out and also have an alternative exit in the event of an emergency or some sort of vehicular crisis or something with snow or something else, something else blocking egress for exit from the property, as well as for emergency vehicles to be able to get in quickly to the back of the property. So that curb cut exists today. That's actually an easement. That's actually a drive easement that runs across the back of my property and feeds the 5-acre parcel on the southwest corner adjacent, that's currently owned by Onyx One South. We purchased from Tarky Lombardi, the Lombardi family, a couple of years ago, and added it to the campus. So that there's already a vehicular egress easement that exists there today for another parcel. So we're just looking to put it into use for safety and comfort of traffic flow, but for personal private vehicles only, and really only for exiting out onto Fly Road. Could even just be a right-hand turn only, southbound only, so that we don't, we have minimal impact with traffic there.
Well, I guess that's one of the questions that I'm gonna ask is, the impact of all the trucks that are leaving there, what impact that has on Fly Road. Have you completed a traffic?
None. Yeah, no, I don't see any there's no trucks going out on the Fly Road. All of our trucks are heading out west on Chrysler, onto 298, going west towards the interstate. Nothing is going on the Fly Road.
So we're restricting that egress to, I use POV, pedestrian vehicles only.
That's correct. And exit only, correct, yes.
Exit only and just, employee, vehicles, leaving the site at that Fly Road egress. And as Robert said, it provides that, additional fire emergency service egress or entry point if you get get quickly. Because if you come in off of North New Venture Gear Drive, it's a serpentine path to get back to this location.
Would that be a legally required fire apparatus drive? Like, could they actually navigate that? That'd be steep.
Well, they could come in on the Fly Road, and drive across the back. I don't think they're going to come in off of Fly Road, in an emergency and make that northbound turn on the east side of the campus. I don't think that a hook and ladder truck is going to make that maneuver. But there are other ways that they could still use that point as an emergency entrance, if that's what the question is. I'm not positive, but I'll take this moment just because it's in my head real quickly to share from previous conversations that we've had in the past together, in our coordination, that CSX rail still sitting there that they're never ever going to use. What a joy that would be to be able to get that CSX spur from my property down to Kirkville and convert that into a truck lane for everybody in that block to be able to use to go south to get to I-81. Not just my property, but all the properties there, to have a backside truck drive that could flow north south and keep vehicles off of Fly Road. as much as possible. But right now, all my trucks are going west on Chrysler. We've put up barricades to block their, try to block their egress when they occasionally try to escape out the north side, through the original entries, out the north side of the campus. We're trying to eliminate that completely, and then we've built that extra drive on the west side of the image shown, the extreme west side of the campus. There's a secondary drive, so there's two truck drives that loop around the storm ponds on the west side that feed back together again and tie into Chrysler. So we've got some redundancy over there for bad weather or bad visibility, truck emergencies, somebody breaks down, whatever. There is some redundancy back there already, and we're looking to maintain that redundancy with our layout of the courtyards to feed this building.
What about the use and operations that are proposed for those buildings?
Well, the first building is designed the way it is. Primarily, it's for snow load, so that we could put the taller building next to it and have the capacity necessary to handle snow drifts. Otherwise we could build it all at a taller height. But right now the target use is freezer food cold storage. That's our planned use for it right now. There are a lot of conversations going on. Of course, there's this thing called Micron. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. But it's there's a lot of conversations going on right now that could change our direction and how we use the building. But the ongoing conversation still remains consistent that our plan is for it to be cold storage. And there's a potential that lower building, that 50,000 foot building, could be refrigerator, transition space that feeds freezer in the big building.
Say anymore?
Yeah, it's one building.
It's contiguous, right.
You fight with the snow loads. Either we build the 70-foot high building up against a 25-foot high building, and we have to rip out the existing building to reinforce it for drift load, or we build a reinforced roof at the same height as the existing building to handle the drift loads, and then go up 70 feet. So it's one building. It's got to have two different levels to handle snow loads.
When you said that for 184 parking spaces, that's the total site?
That's the total serving this building, so.
So on this 3.1, there is a summary that we provided. When was it? 2024. So I think we need to, based on Robert's tenancy, we need to update that table. But with regards to what we're talking about of the new tenants are a less of a parking demand. And then this building, we had more than adequate to compensate for that. So the parking table, we will update it, but it'll be favorable. And we met the criteria before with those higher end users in the tenancy equation.
You'll do that for the whole site?
Yeah. So on this 3.1, there is, if Eric can pan just up to the right, you'll see a big table with each tenant listed and the parking requirements associated with it.
So on that drawing right there that you've got on the screen, on the northeast corner of the property there where the parking is, a lot of that parking was being consumed by Burn Dairy, and all of that traffic is going to swing up to the northwest corner where Empire Telecom used to park. So I mean, like I said, we're losing a significant amount of vehicular impact on the property. It's gone down significantly from where we were this time a year ago.
Yeah, we'll just want to see that updated table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was going to interject, based on the conversation, we can reach out to fire chief, talk to the chief about circulation and needs. They are certainly aware of when this was fully operational, there is a significant amount of fire pump and water supply that's already available with an entire 12-inch fire loop that loops the entire campus. So that's okay.
You're building a building pretty close up to that south property line.
Absolutely. And that's what we want to talk to Chief about to make sure we satisfy his circulation needs. So that has to be vetted. We do need to reach back to James Fenster, County DOT with regards to that egress point and what we're proposing now with exit only, POV cars only.
Yeah.
Make sure he's okay with that piece. So those pieces we're getting caught back up to now that we're re-energized based on Robert's call to us about a month ago to get back engaged and make this thing happen for everybody.
So I think it's one of the long ago submissions, you actually had some preliminary elevations. Are there updated elevations, things that we can?
You submitted them.
Yeah, we did submit,
They're in there somewhere, right, Eric?
latest.
I don't think they were the ones he had marked, they had a lot of detail on it. People just.
No, they're not gonna have a lot of detail because of.
No, the last time you had something that had more detail than what was submitted this time. We pull it up. It doesn't look like the ones that you had before.
I think it was from November 24.
Just that.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is designed to be a refrigerator and freezer warehouse.
Yeah, I thought you had
Every time you drive a
Fly
fast
through
through
that.
that, you're gonna have an icicle inside the building. So it's all specialized fasteners, everything has to be concealed to keep you get a little
I could
freezer.
have sworn we had something.
You had we had some renderings, fly road renderings that we did.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, Robert, yeah.
We have the drive-through videos on a flash drive. I did submit them as part of the submittal, but I didn't see it on this portal. But we do have them to share tonight if you guys would like.
Yeah, I mean, you can, as long as it's not like a 20-minute drive.
Right there.
You just bought it, something important.
Was a traffic study ever done for this? For this site?
I
think we're gonna wanna see one.
I did when I plugged these in.
Guess
One of them.
adopt one. Well,
Which one would you like?
Well, I guess we can start with the existing conditions.
There's not a whole lot of.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see there's the existing fence that we're gonna continue.
Right, phone out the window. We can submit to you the YouTube link. If you wanna see this, when you do see it like this, it's kind of choppy. It's better us on the floor.
Yeah, something similar to this. But I think what we were looking to do is, what you're showing
Like the.
in those elevations is just the section of the building that you are modifying. And trying to understand what the impact on the whole building facade would be as you're kind of going down. Fly, what I'm referring to is just instead of, because in the upper right, the rest of the building continues to the right. If I read that correctly.
Yeah, correct.
So
You're absolutely.
seeing that, understanding what this portion of the building looks like in relation to the rest of the building would be something that we typically ask for anyway. So showing us the rest of what that facade is gonna look like, so that we get an understanding. What this elevation is gonna be. I mean, the backside, I'm not as worried about, but it's the view shed from.
The view shed from flop.
From flop.
Cause I remember when you guys were in last time, that last rendering you just showed, I think there was discussion that higher end. You're looking for fly on the left, being up high, offset the higher end at FedEx, remember? Right, and then everybody kind of said that the quote unquote freezer area being up high kind of hid all the truck traffic in the back, right? So it kind of
It was offsetting that.
yeah.
That piece, because the other end of the building, the north end of the building. Is a 2-story.
That would probably
was actually.
bookend.
Right.
too, the design.
Remember? Right.
Yeah.
Those.
Things that pop up above the roof everywhere, or like penthouses. There's about 5 in the building. Throughout the existing building, that's just, there's one on that corner, just as you turn. Head west before you head north.
Yeah, but I think if we were to draw this out, extend the rest of the side, you see a two-story bookend on one side and the new addition that you got on the other side, kind of a lower one-story, lack of a better description, section of the building in between.
You really,
Just what it looked like all the way down the building.
yeah, you really don't even see the building
Yeah, it's down there.
right now when you're driving Fly Road. You're kind of looking across the rooftop, though, until you get down towards FedEx, down to the to the very end of the 200 building.
Yeah.
As you approach FedEx, where the grade of the Fly Road drops down, and now all of a sudden you can start to see the building. So, that's not really don't have much of a vantage point, especially if we go put vegetation up there. I think that was the plan, wasn't it? To buffer that.
Yeah, we're gonna fence and vegetate the Fly Road for the entire line.
Right. So I mean, but that I enjoy driving Fly Road because I get to look at my roof and see what's going on up there, see if something's blown over or something's happening. But it's really, you see the roof until you get to the last 100 feet or so, and that's where you've got that. You can see that on that existing render, that existing video, where the penthouse is on top of Suite 210, right at the corner of FedEx and Fly, where it's tall again, where it's whatever 50 60 feet tall there, the existing building.
Do you work in Revit?
We do.
Is this something you could model even a 3D Axon to about the facade and just show?
Well, we did for that video. That's done. It's just literally just a shell that's no. We've got some of it, but we can continue that down.
And that would help.
One thing we've been discussing about this corridor is sidewalk. As a lot of employees are being added, I think we'd be interested in some sidewalk here. You've got a lot of frontage here.
Part of the challenge, and we'll have to look at it, is once we get off the curb line as we're heading from our addition, or even, like I said, from our driveway, the grade drops away really quick and hard to get down to the existing grade. But we'll look at it, absolutely. But just, there's some challenges with regards to even adding a 6-foot sidewalk because of the way the grade just drops away pretty hard along Fly Road there on the west side.
Between the road edge and fence.
Yeah, again, I'm just using memory. I'll take a look at the grading plan, but if do we have 5 or 6 feet to get a sidewalk edge and then put a fence up, and that's just off the top of my head. It's those are potential challenges I just want to be aware of.
Yeah, driving up and down the corridor right now. So you probably plenty of room to do that.
You have plenty of room, okay.
So it is part of this corridor that with all the stuff.
No, I get it. You got
So
the whole high tech on that.
Yeah.
We're getting into that.
Despite what county DOTs were interested in the sidewalks.
I was going to say that nasty word, James Spencer, but I didn't want to.
All right. Any other questions? So I think there is a little bit of development still gonna happen. We'll want to continue this conversation, and really iron it out. We gotta understand the rest of the site in totality. And then kind of what this building is gonna be.
Yep.
Traffic flow, all that stuff.
Does it make sense work session before we go to the next planning board? Just
I would think that's probably a good opportunity.
That's kind of where I was. We almost started there, but last time we got to come back to you guys first in this formal setting.
Yeah, this is a good way to kind of start and kind of get everybody into it. Work on kind of getting all that stuff. Once you have all that updated, we'll get you on, give us an opportunity to kind of look at it ahead of time so we can sit down.
We get a lot done during the work session, so that's why I mentioned.
Yep. No, I think that's certainly.
Meeting go by so much quicker.
Yeah. We don't do all the work session stuff here in the meeting. So. Okay, all good. You got everything you need?
Good.
All right. Appreciate it. Don't forget your.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's usually fine. Okay, last up, we've got, Pluto. The applicant online. Anybody else here in the room is getting up and leaving? All right, who do we have online for Pluto?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Anna Tan. I'm the manager of Fruto Ocean Food, where at 3237 Air Boulevard, East Syracuse. I'm just speaking on representing for my mom's business because her English is not so good. But we're requesting a roofing permit so we could do a overlay for the roof because our current roof needs some, it's not broken, it's just needs some updating so it's not crazy. So it can hold through the winter. So we're using a corrugated metal roofing panel, which will significantly improve our building's energy efficiency and weather resistance. And while we do that, we're using the furring strip method by placing wood perpendicular to the slope of the roof, which creates an air gap while providing a nailing base over the existing shingles. Then this project complies with the section 1512, at least from what I searched up. Will not alter the existing footage or the height of the building. And by doing an overlay rather than a full tear off, we could do just a part-time construction, not like a full-time big construction. So it reduced the time of it and also reduce the dumpster, eliminates massive dumpster blockage and prevents roofing distributes from blowing into the neighboring properties and also allow us to maintain normal restaurant operation safeties. So while using this to keep the functions, investing in this short thing will keep the long term of the properties.
Okay. So this is, you're proposing to modify the existing asphalt shingle roof and put a corrugated metal roof on by putting sleepers and the metal roof on over the top of the existing.
Yes, putting metal corrugated panels on top of the existing shingles.
Okay. So I think we have some base information that you provided us as part of the initial application.
Yeah.
I've got a few things that we're going to request in order to progress this approval that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have elevations and a roof plan that have been drawn and completed for this?
No, not.
Okay. So we'll need a roof plan, we'll need building elevations that will show material, typical details, things that we will have to review in order to make this approval.
Okay.
So I think if you can have those, I mean, we're gonna need to know, I mean, right down to what your fascia materials are, the color of the roof. I think I've got a sample here.
It's like the charcoal color. It's just the name for the color was called charcoal when we purchased it.
The whole roof that color?
Yeah, the color, at least on the sample, is the name is just called charcoal.
And it's the entire roof?
Yeah, that's the color for all the metal. We're not using any other ones for the entire roof.
That other sample that was on their bill was for someone else.
One
of the items on the bill was their materials and one was someone else's materials.
Okay, so they're two different colors?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
It's just
the
the
other color
charcoal.
was for somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's that charcoal corrugated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I would recommend, in order to keep this this process rolling,
Yeah.
that you get somebody to do some elevations of the building, a roof plan, provide typical annotations of material, color, details on how, wall flapping, edge stuff. I mean, all the typical information that we would require in order to make an approval of this, because it is a significant change
Yeah,
from asphalt to corrugated metal. So we're gonna wanna look at the whole building as a whole, focus on the roof, but we need all of that information in order to make any sort of approval.
Oh, okay, so next time I just need to provide the roofing plan and the building evaluation, right?
Yep.
At least for now, that we're missing, right?
Registered architect.
Have you thought about how the additional thickness of this roof is gonna impact your kitchen exhaust fans?
Sorry, you got cut off.
You've got some kitchen exhaust fans and equipment on the roof. Have you thought about how this new roof thickness is gonna impact that? You need to modify those?
For those, we're not changing, we're probably we're going around it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
So show beat
Some detail.
drawings.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
okay. Having a metal roof in this corridor is a little atypical. There are some examples down here, but this is why we're gonna wanna look at this, so I appreciate you, coming to us.
Yeah.
If you can gather that material, Alana and Eric can kind of work with you, to make sure that you're kind of pulling the correct material together for us to review, and then we'll have an opportunity to kind of talk at the next meeting, or the next opportunity that we get to talk.
Okay, yeah.
So your next step will probably be working with an architect, because these drawings will need to be stamped and signed.
Nope,
No, it's under $20,000.
$20,000.
Okay.
All right, I take that back.
Okay,
I mean, I will say the requirement is, because it's of a low enough value, that you don't need to have an architect, but as an architect myself, I would highly recommend having an architect put the drawings together. It will make the process a lot smoother.
okay. So it's like the architect, we could use it, but to make it go faster, but we not necessary to use it, right?
Right. It would just, I think what it will end up doing, in all honesty, is it will just expedite the time frame, because they will tend to know exactly what we're looking for and just get it done a lot faster.
Yeah.
Versus some of the back and forth if we're asking for additional material from you in there, so. Just it's a suggestion.
Yeah, understood.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, thank you.
appreciate your time, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other business? No questions, comments? Motion to adjourn? Ooh, Jenny got it with Bill, a second, all in favor of? All right. I mean, it was a neck and neck, I mean.
I'm closer.
Bill was 30.